I'll call the meeting to order at this time. And would you all please rise and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I'll apologize in advance for my voice tonight. I've been nursing that cough that's going around. So if I suddenly stop talking, either the brain stopped or it's my throat. So we just concluded an executive session that started at 6:30. The topics were real estate and labor, and there will be no decisions tonight. Council, we have items A through E on the consent calendar tonight, and you know the drill.
I move that we accept item 1 through, or A through E. I'm sorry, I'm not open yet. And it was seconded by...
Second.
Okay, a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through E was made by Councilman Judith Dunley and seconded by Jermaine Cornegay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. We are now at the public comment period. You will be allowed 3 minutes at the podium, roughly. I will allow people to finish their thoughts if they have them. Remember, you are addressing the council. It's not a time for argument or cross-examination or to address the other members of the audience. So if anybody would like to come up, the podium is open. Not even you, Tony? Okay, seeing no interest, I will close the public comment period. There's no public hearing tonight. Unfinished business, item 5, final plat approval of the plat of Sock Mountain Estates Views North V, a planned residential development, second reading. And I believe that's probably John.
Yes. So this is simply a long plat. Staff has reviewed the plat development and has determined that everything that is required to be done has been completed. So at this point, the plat is ready to be officially subdivided into 28 different lots. If the council approves it tonight, then we'll okay the developer to record the documents that make 28 additional building lots available.
Okay, Council, you have the resolution before you. The next resolution is 937, TAC 16.
Mr. Mayor, I make the motion to adopt Resolution 937-16, a resolution granting the final plat approval of Sock Mountain View Estates North Phase 5, a planned residential development.
Second.
There was a second.
Yes, there was. So the motion was made by Councilman Johnson and seconded by Councilman Lemley. Motion to adopt Resolution 837-16, a resolution granting final plat approval of the...
937.
I'm sorry, 937, thank you, Jermaine. -16, a resolution granting final plat approval of the plat of Sock Mountain View Estates North Phase 5. Any discussion? We are quiet tonight.
Yes, we are.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Get that income coming. Get that income coming.
Mr. McCart here tonight?
He is.
Oh, right in front of me. I believe, Steve, that you are next. Approach the podium and tell us what you got.
My name is Steve McCart. I teach at the high school. I live on 815 Evans Drive here in Sedro-Woolley. And I talked to the council a couple of weeks ago, but there was a few of you not here because you've taken off down to Olympia, God knows why. And at the time, I also sent an email talking about wanting to do our annual high school lift up downtown Sedro-Woolley. And at the time, I just kind of presented, but I wanted to, before I go ahead and, as Mr. Berg said, fill out a application to do this, to go ahead and get an okay from you guys, or if you had any questions about what we plan to do or anything like that. And before I go, as they say, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead. So if you don't know what a lip dub is, I should have thought of that. I'd love to show you one, but it takes a little while. But what we do is all the students get together, and they get in different places in the high school, and we start the music, and we run a camera through the thing, and all the kids get a chance to get in front of the camera and sing and act out and that sort of thing. And it's become kind of phenomenal, a phenom over the last couple of years. We've been doing, this will be our 7th year. We were one of the first schools to do it. We got Shoreline, had a contest back in 2010. They actually did theirs in the fall of 2009, and we did our first one in 2010. And Schedule Like Herald carried the contest, and we did it like that, and it got a lot of publicity. And then a couple of years ago, our lip dub that we did, the King 5 put it on their TV show that night, and had it on their webpage and their Facebook page for a while. Got a lot of good comments, and my favorite comment was, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he says, I'm Max Unger, and I'm a taxpayer, and I approve of this video. So we wanted to do this year was to take the lip dub out of the high school and actually go down Metcalf, which is Main Street for our town, and basically just do a whole thing. And then we want to use a song called Downtown, which makes sense. And we just kind of want to make sure that you guys feel good with that. I've checked with most people seem to be kind of supportive of it. They called Mr. Tucker and asked him, and he said, yeah, we can do that. And so he was the first one I was concerned about, because he said, oh, good Lord, you got to be kidding me, You're talking to Christine. So that's what we want to do. And if you want to see the lip dub, you can type in Sedro-Woolley lip dub and
Happy.
Well, how much pain would that be? Do we have time to hook a computer up and let Mr. McCart pull it up on the screen?
Yeah.
He could be working on that while we did.
Where are you going to stage the Happy one? Happy?
What's that?
The Happy, the song Happy.
That was the one that was on.
Because it's fantastic.
Awesome.
And we have a teacher, I don't know if you guys know Mr. Jensen, and he's always our actor that starts it, because he's supposed to be the curmudgeon that doesn't want the lip dub to happen each year. And so it's and one year when we did the Happy song, there's a movie that came from called Despicable Me, and there's a evil Gru kind of guy like that, and Mr. Jensen was popping balloons and telling kids they couldn't do the lip dub and so on. So do you have any questions about it? Is there anything I can answer?
I'm just wondering, the merchants downtown, I assume, are full stream ahead because they'd get filmed.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping is, one of the things that's kind of neat about it is I don't know how easy it would be to go into the buildings and out, but at least we could do things, and we try to make things happen in the song. So like there's I think there's something about tiramisu, in one of the song, and it would be cool if it was outside the bakery or something like that. So, but I'm not sure if we can time that well or not. It just depends, because what we want to do is start start down by the Wells Fargo Bank and work down to and into the gazebo. So we just kind of want to go down Main
Down
Street
the
there.
main street, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're actually going to start at the high school, but we're going to use a quadcopter and follow the quadcopter to come down, and then we're going to turn it to the ground camera and move down through the street, and then when we get to the other end, we're going to rise up and have the whole town, in there.
Oh, that's neat. That sounds really...
So that's kind of our basic plan right now.
So you mentioned on the last time you were here, you mentioned something about somebody with some affiliation with Macklemore.
Ryan Haug, who is a 2002 Sedro-Woolley graduate, works for a company called Motion State. It's him and two other boys that, I say boys, they're men. Because once they've been my boys, they're still boys. And so Ryan works for a company called Motion State, and he goes all around. In fact, he emailed me. I was hoping he was going to email me and let me know if he was going to be available to help us. He's in Jamaica right now, and he was filming. There's a female sprinter there that's going to be in the Olympics, and he was doing a story on that. And then he's going to Cuba and something like that. He said he'd be home the 23rd, but I don't know. He's got a Disney thing happening that might be happening on April 1st. So I'm praying that he doesn't get that job, even though I told him. I hope he gets the job. I lied. I'm going like this. So if he comes, he's going to lend us some. He lent us some of his equipment last year, and we had two of my kids learn how to use equipment, but they can't fly the quadcopter. They just don't. You have to have some experience with that. But I want to get the quadcopter up so we can see the town, and at the end of it, if you saw last year's, at the end of it, it rises out and goes over the football field, and you see the thing like that. And this year, what I want to do is at the end, rise up above where the gazebo is and show the town back and that sort of thing.
No?
We need to set some ground.
Yes.
Rule number 1, fractions are your friends. Rule number 2, do not interrupt me while I am pontificating. Rule number 3, you will not cry or whine or laugh or giggle or sneeze or bark or fart. So no annoying sound.
Does this count as an annoying sound?
Very. See you 6th period. Do not be tardy.
Okay, guys. Everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna be really happy here. Right?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. Hot air balloon never goes space. With the air, like I don't care, maybe by the way. Because I'm happy. Come along if you feel like a room without said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Love's too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Mr. McCart. But we have a short schedule tonight.
Sure.
So why don't you give us a little more of your resume? I know a little bit about you, the yearbook and Digicom and all the things that you do, because
Okay, well,
advertise yourself.
I've been, this is my 24th or 25th year at Sedro-Woolley. I've lost track. I'm getting so old. And I do the yearbook, and I do debate, and I do the video stuff like that. And up until this year, I was assistant drama director, but finally decided, I think my wife decided that you're doing too much, and so I'm not doing that this year, but I miss it. And then, like I said, this will be our 7th year of doing the Lip Dub. We also do some film festivals and that sort of thing with my teams and that sort of thing. But this year, I was going to say about Ryan, how Ryan shot Macklemore's video, the one song we want to use downtown, and he and I stay in constant contact all the time. And like I said, he promised me yesterday, he'd email me today, but he also said he was in a place that didn't have very good Wi-Fi, so I could or couldn't got to get to him. And so anyway, yeah, that's
great. Well, see, Sedro-Woolley really is the center of the universe. Thank you for that. And it appears to me that everybody is smiling about this idea. I think Judith brought up a good point that make sure that we coordinate probably with the chamber just so they kind of know what's coming.
That's my next step, because I wanted to see what you guys thought before I...
Well, I think I can't wait to see it. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, and we'll have sign-ups for parts. So we would like to have the kids still do that, but it would also be fun to have, different people in the town. And that's my next step, is maybe to, after I talk to Chamber, advertise a little bit and let people know when it's going to be, because I actually want to shut down the street, so we can have all those people there. Otherwise, somebody's getting run over.
I have a question.
Sure.
When did you say when you're thinking about it?
I would like to do it. We like to do the Friday before spring break, which is April 1st, which doesn't give us much time, but it doesn't have to be then. Like last year, something happened and we couldn't shoot on the day we usually did, so we shot April 9th or something like that after spring break. So, I'm open to whatever the schedule would be like.
And weather constraints too. Are you going to shooting range.
Well, you know, this is Washington, and
Just deal with it, huh?
yeah, you know, unless it's really, really terrible, those can fly, and the quadcopters he's asking about. The quadcopters can fly in rain, they just can't fly in wind very well. But those things will stabilize. They're incredibly stable. I don't know if you've seen those or worked with them. And the one Ryan had, like we did some shooting last year. When he came down, we took the quadcopter downtown. I've got some really good footage of the city. I probably should put it up on the webpage for you guys. Yeah.
I just wanted to make a point that the Woodfest this year is April 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, so could tie in there if we, yeah, that would be cool. Because it's usually at these. Are they doing it at Cascade?
It's Cascade.
They are at Cascade.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Mr. Stewart said that was actually worked out pretty good. Any other questions, comments, arguments?
I got yet another question, sorry.
Sure.
So your first one that you did was it 2009?
The fall of 2009, the first two schools in Washington were down at Shoreline. They did it. And then that next spring, we shot ours the day before spring break, and we did a local contest that was run in the Skagit Valley Herald. I don't know if you remember that or not, but they actually voted online, and we took first. And it really was no contest, except for Anacortes and us, and because the other ones, Mount Vernon, their sound system died halfway through it, and same thing happened at Oak Harbor, and so they kind of had to do theirs blind, and when they put the music back, it didn't match up. Right. Yeah, it didn't match up, but both those schools have since done another one, and so on.
Arlington did one too. Didn't Arlington?
Actually, he was his name's Eric, and I can't remember Eric's last name right now, but he was the teacher like me, the video teacher, but then he became a vice principal at Arlington, and they've hosted the last 3 years the Wesco Challenge, and we've taken 2/3 and a second in that. Happy only took third. Give me a break.
I know, right?
But we got second last year when we were at the contest. But I haven't heard whether he's running the contest or not. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But we might disqualify ourselves if we do it downtown, because one of the rules is it has to be in the school. But I would ask for special consideration. But if he doesn't, the heck with it. We want to do the town.
Now, this is your third Macklemore song. Can you try to get him to
second Macklemore?
No, you did three. You did the Raise the Roof song, the Thrift Shop, and this one now. Right?
We didn't do Thrift Shop.
Oh, you did it? I thought you guys... Oh, no, he just dressed all goofy, didn't he?
Yeah, we just dressed... Okay. Yeah, we dressed him up in that thing. Ryan was the videographer for his tour the year after White Walls came out, the video they did at Dick's Burgers downtown Seattle, and he went on tour with Macklemore for the whole year. So he officially shot the whole tour, and so they're friends. I mean, at least they work. He knows Ryan Lewis better than he knows Macklemore. But Macklemore has seen our what is it called? Shoot, I can't remember the name of the song that we did. But anyway, Can't Hold Us. Macklemore saw the Can't Hold Us video because Ryan showed it to him. He says, "Here's what my school did," and that sort of thing. So yeah, it would be cool. And I keep kind of hoping that and saying, "Hey Ryan, why don't you see if your buddy wants to come down?" But so far, nothing like that. That would kind of put us on the map, wouldn't it?
Well, Mr. McCart, we do have procedures and paperwork because we're the city. So if you work with the chief and get the paperwork for any street closure that's required, it sounds like you got a positive response tonight. Thanks for coming.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Right. Okay, we're down to committee reports. Chief Tucker.
Just a couple things here. We've been starting to work with the school district on active shooter training and programs. That's the item of the that is coming to everybody's attention. What we're running into is we have 12 different schools in the school district, and about half of them are in the city, and the other half are out. So we're working on how to logistically kind of train with the sheriff's office, which is actually really good for us. And something that's sprung up from this is the umbrella organization for all this training is going to be county-wide with the Department of Emergency Management. So DEM's going to kind of shoulder the burden of active shooter response and have all of the police departments, all the schools, and everybody start working in a similar vein. And we're going to start engaging in that, and everybody's kind of moving that direction. In addition to the schools, we have 5 to 6 major employers in the city that are going to require this same kind of training, to include the city hall and the city offices. So kind of a big undertaking, but it's once we get kind of started, it'll be a lot easier to carry on with our training and our prep for that, even if it's just sitting down and going over some plans for it. Additionally, Jermaine and I were at information meeting last night, and you'll probably talk a little bit about the training. Outstanding program put on by Melee Seroptimus over in Burlington over sex trafficking training. And incredible speakers came in and talked, and we had our own local prosecutor who did To Catch a Predator prosecutions here in the last couple of years. Really interesting, and if you get a chance to go and they present it again, it'd be well worth your effort to go. On an employee front, we're taking on a reserve officer that was a former Burlington police officer who just wants to work as a police officer part-time. He's already been a police officer. He's ready to go. We're actually going to get him fitted for uniforms tomorrow and finish all of his background. We're going to get him measured tomorrow, and that'll give me 3 reserves that I can put out on the road. And those guys usually cost us a gun and a vest. So for a small investment, we add another body as somebody that wants to get out on the road and work. And just here on Tuesday, this room was packed with, everybody likes to call it the dam training we had to go to, but it was a dam failure training. Very informative and very interesting to see all of the different groups of people that showed up, and Dean even showed up, which was kind of crazy. But we actually got kind of an overview put on by Puget Sound Energy and Seattle City Light on what will happen if there's a potential dam failure, and we're going to be working on more of an actual scenario next Wednesday. So if somebody calls up and says, "Hey, I heard the dam failed, what do we do?" Next Wednesday, most likely it's a drill. If you hear all sorts of alarms and we really call you, then it might not have been a drill, it's for real. But we're hoping it'll just be a drill next Wednesday. And it's part of our kind of just an emergency management preparedness, and it makes us dig out all of our plans, look at everything we're doing, and update them, modify them, get everybody on the same sheet of music. And that's all I have.
So what I learned from that was kind of comforting is we actually have quite a bit of time to notify people and get out of the city. Not our neighbors upriver have much less, obviously, but we have quite hours and hours. Was it around 8 or 9 hours?
Well,
you were saying?
I mean, it depends on which dam goes. If the big one, Ross or Diablo, goes, we have a lot less time. But if we have 10, 11, 12 hours, depending on the flow of the river and the extent. So we have plenty of time to make things happen.
Okay.
If anybody wants to go through and look at what's going to be the exercise, I've got a copy of it here. So
Are you passing to Dean now?
Yes, sir.
Along with that, we had our first meeting with DEM last week, and this is was put on this committee by the mayor.
Acronyms for the crowd, please.
Oh, the Department of Emergency Management, to look at there were a couple things that the council, I guess it'd be and I forget, the Emergency Management Council, EMC, has asked us to look at the funding mechanism, how it's paid for. Right now, all the cities pitch in a percentage, and it's kind of disproportionate in some respects. So we're looking at redoing that, and actually who the Department of Emergency Management works for. Currently, they work for the EMC, but for some reason right now they work under Public Works. So we're looking at trying to shift that back to where they work for the elected officials. Our goal is to have this no later than July, a final answer that'll be brought to the Emergency Management Council for a decision as far as funding, so that each of the cities can get this into the budgets for the 2017. So we should have an answer by then. That's the goal. So other than that, we've just been working with getting ready for the drill. It should be a fun one. They're usually pretty good. So if anybody's interested, if you want to come down here on the 16th, I'm not sure how much they plan on getting us involved, but hopefully we'll get to do something. So,
thank you. John?
Oh, I've been terribly busy putting together a packet for the Planning Commission. I feel sorry for them. There's a massive amount of data for them to review ahead of their public hearings on 4 different elements in the comprehensive plan and the critical areas ordinance and some related development regulation updates that are going along with the comprehensive plan updates. So they're going to have a tremendously busy night next Tuesday, and then we'll continue with a lot of work for the Planning Commission in between now and the next time when we bring them the transportation element. Hopefully we can have everything packaged up and ready for the City Council to review all at one shot instead of over the course of a year and a half like the Planning Commission has been suffering through. And that time frame is hopefully in May.
Thank you. Mark?
Thank you, Mayor. We advertised for the Jameson Arterial Extension Project tomorrow, and that will close on March the 31st. We're looking forward to some good bids, getting it out early like this, and if everything goes right, we'd start the last week of May and complete by the end of November with the project. Our open house on March the 2nd went well. No big issues. We thank everyone who attended that and helped out with the questions. I did want to let you know there's another open house scheduled for March the 24th, also at 5:30 here in the council chambers. It's to talk about the Hauser Playfield plan. We've invited all the residents and the folks within 300 or 500 feet of the project area there to come and visit and see the plans for that, and be glad to have any of the council members that are interested as well. David Lee is putting the final touches on the Ferry Street overlay project. We hope to have that off to TIB for their authorization to go to AD in the next couple of weeks. Again, we'll hope to get that one contracted and ready to construct on June 1st and complete prior to Lager Rodeo. And then he's also working on the design for the Cascade Trail extension from Hodgen to SR9 South. We're looking at advertising that mid-May and constructing that after the Lager Rodeo, parallel with the Jameson project. I've also been working with the consultant on the Fruitdale Arterial engineering design project. The topo survey has been completed on that, and we should start seeing some design product in the next month on that particular project. We have a grant application due. I think I mentioned this last time for the economic development program from Skagit County. I just realized I neglected to put together a memo for you to review that and approve submission of that grant. I apologize for that. It's been a rather busy week for us getting all of the things together. So what we're planning to do is apply for $500,000 under that program to provide the match funds for the construction project. This program has been important on various projects. And we're anticipating that this will rank pretty highly. It has the economic development component of the potential expansion of Janeke's omni-digester facilities up on the site, as well as the partnership of the Port of Skagit and the city. So, Mayor, if you are amenable to it, I would ask the council to authorize us to submit that grant application for the Fruitdale Arterial Improvements Project to support the construction phase of the Jameson Arterial Project.
You'll probably have to say that a little bit slower, and then I'll see if anyone would care to make that motion.
What is your deadline on this grant?
It's due on the 17th.
I so move that we approve him applying for the grant for the Jameson.
This would be for Fruitdale.
Yeah.
Fruitdale Arterial.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Councilman Judith Dudley and seconded by Chuck Owen to authorize Mr. Freiberger to apply for the grant for the Fruitdale Arterial project. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Was that all you had, Mark?
Pretty much. John's been keeping me busy working with him on the transportation plan update. You'll see that product when he submits that for review coming up shortly. So that's enough for tonight. Thank you.
Okay.
That application, by the way, will be a joint application between the partners, so the county, the port, and the city will be jointly applying for those funds. Don't think we've ever done that before, so it's the first time for us to do a project quite that way. Just a couple of reminders tonight. One, the magazine. I know we've got a couple of the articles in. We're starting to run thin on time, so if you want to have an article from your council's perspective, your council seat's perspective, if you could email it to me or to Jana by the end of this week, tomorrow really would be most ideal. That would be helpful. And then we have the retreat scheduled for Monday. That starts at 10 a.m. and runs until 4, and it's located at the Swinomish Lodge in the second floor hospitality suite. And the agenda for that is just a single item, and that's council retreat. So we'll look forward to seeing you on Monday for that.
Did you get enough direction in executive, or do we need to have executive again following this meeting?
Well, I think I got some direction.
Very well.
Thank you.
Patsy?
In your council packets under reports is our December 31st summary financial report. I've completed the annual USDA, which is United States Department of Agriculture, their annual report, which is required as a result of the loan on the City Hall construction. That's the first of many annual reports that we churn out every year. Today, School Superintendent Phil Brockman and Athletic Director Todd Torgerson arrived in our lobby with flowers for Cheryl. Well over a year ago, Cheryl nominated her brother, Joe Fisher, for one of the high school awards, and they came today to surprise her and inform her that her brother had been chosen. So several family members also surprised Cheryl, as well as Joe's widow was in attendance as well. So we look forward to the ceremony in April when Joe and a few others will be honored for their service to Sedro-Woolley School students over the years.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Judith, anything?
No.
Very well. Jermaine?
I just happen to have all this stuff still in my purse from the meeting yesterday. I actually went to 2 meetings with, it's called Stop Human Trafficking, Turn Off the Red Light. They had the first one at the Swinomish Casino for folks who Care for Kids and things like that. And then they had another one, a much shorter program in the evening yesterday at the Burlington High School. It's put on by a group called Skagit County Coalition Against Trafficking, and it was actually sponsored by all of Skagit County Seroptimists, and I guess the Swinomish Casino did the one there. But anyway, they actually meet every fourth Wednesday, of course, when we have council meetings, at 6:30 p.m. They meet at the farmhouse if anyone's interested in going. It was quite a turnout, and it's actually more of a problem than I think most of us realize. And so it's probably a good thing to kind of get ahead of it. Thanks.
Brenda?
Julia.
Chuck?
Yes, I have a question for Mark. I wonder if you could bring us up to date with the library, the damage in front. I was down there the other day and I was noticing an elderly person going around back with a walker, and it's quite a chore for her to get around there. So it seems like it's been damaged for a long time, and I would like to know when it's going to be complete or what's going on.
Yeah, the contract's been advertised for bids and closes. Aaron probably can speak more to it than I can, but I know it's out for bids right now, and as soon as we get a contract, get the bids closed, we'll bring them to you for award and get that work done.
Thank you.
So it's important to note that it's not just a replacement back to the original condition. We're required to replace that up to modern code, and I guess the building code for energy saving requires an alcove. So that's kind of what took up all the time, the design and the bid of an energy efficient alcove. So we're hoping to get it. You're not the first one to ask. I got a very angry phone call earlier this week, but I explained that and everybody seemed happy. But it is important that we get it done. It looks terrible. Rick? Brett? Okay, there was one late item. It's a letter to me and you, reference a library proposal. Was by a citizen, Loretta Serenen. Normally this would have been in your packet. I told her that it would be in the packet, but we didn't get it in time to get it in there, so just want to make sure you got it as soon as possible, and it'll be in next council's packet, but you've got it, you can read it. Any alibis? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have it. Second?
Sure. Second.
Okay, let's all go.